Well. You're the new one that Senku brought in. I'm Tsukasa. Whether it's a pleasure to meet you or not, still remains to be seen. You're one of those sciencey folk like Senku, aren't you? It still remains to be seen if what you're doing is bringing the world to a better place. I won't disagree. Modernity, it does have its draw. But the innocence may be lost once again, once people struggle for power. But I'll admit it. I trust Senku, and by extension I trust you. You're doing better for the world than most would. Just don't let it go to your head. And don't let things go crazy. Me, I'm just here for security, for now. Consider me a glorified bodyguard. There's nothing more to it. Interested in my conviction. I've seen injustice, and I've seen a world that no one should live through. I used to tour much of the underdeveloped world back in when we were all before the stone. It wasn't even close to this. The weapons, they dictated who got food and who didn't. It wasn't one's personal strength that mattered. The weak always suffered. The way things went. The underdeveloped world had too much suffering. Me, I was seen as a monster, at least in my prowess. I see. So you're something of a monster yourself. Just spec'd differently. Interesting. What drew you to me? I see. That someone so polar opposite to Senku could be working together. Could be harmonizing. Well, the Science Kingdom, or whatever he calls it these days. It's the best thing that we can do. At least that's how I see it. If he loses his path, I'll be the first to take him down, before he can develop any fancy weapons. That's what I'd like to say, but I wonder how soft I've gotten. I couldn't tell you. So you've witnessed firsthand. The world can be a terrible place. And everyone has that strand of primal selfishness that can take over at any time, ruining them. I don't see it in you too badly. Must have lived a pretty innocent life. I can appreciate that. I wish to stand up for those innocents. Though I don't know to call you innocent or not. That smug expression. Could you stop rubbing my abs? I know that I'm toned and a peak male specimen or whatever, but did you have to get so... No. Your enthusiasm is quite adorable. Just careful what you wish for, okay? Fine. If that's how we're doing it, show me something. Working in medicine specifically. Now that's a field I can appreciate. less suffering, less sickness, less infection. All of those matter the most. If anyone deserves my respect in the Science Kingdom, then it'd be you and Senku. There's others that are decent enough, but I don't trust them. I guess I'll trust you for now. If you are what you say you are. My genes. Are you hitting on me? If that was your attempt at hitting on me, you're terrible at this. Just saying. Saying I have good genes, it'd be a shame if they ended here. How am I supposed to even take that? How is that a proposition at all? Say it how you want. You should just be saying, hey, I like your looks. I'm attracted to you. Something like that. Was that so hard? You're kind of funny when you get put on the spot. Is this what you expected? This kind of reaction? Or did you think that I'd be worse about it? I've always had a mindset. Simple and to the point. You could call me two-dimensional, I guess, but I wouldn't say that. I've done some despicable things to get what I want. And as much as I'd like to call myself blameless or completely moral, there is a side to me just as dangerous as anyone else. Maybe even more. So what? Are you joking? So you meet me. You talk all that science crap. Then you say how fate and star signs are why we should go on a date. You're not really leaning into this right, are you? You're crazy. You know what? Why not? You had the guts to ask me, which is more than any of them could say. All they do is admire from afar. If you're going to want someone, do it where they can want you back. From afar just means pointless, wasted time. Is what I might say if I didn't understand being apprehensive myself. The only reason why I said yes is you seem interesting enough. And maybe with your medicine and my muscles, I might be kind of helpful. Curing people, being an assistant or whatever. Regardless of how the dating bit works. I wouldn't mind that. I'm a fighter through and through. But that doesn't mean I haven't thought of doing something more. Fighting amounts to defending what's yours. Is that what you want from me? A loyal defense? Or is it your own selfish desires? You know, even if it is, I couldn't judge you right now. In fact, I have to praise your enthusiasm. Your boldness is so refreshing, albeit out of place, touch. How does one even go on a date in such a world? Are we not more like animals than ever before, civilized or not? Just walking. Very well. I can amuse such tendencies. Just if primal urges are what drive us, you have a lot of confidence in your safety or my integrity as a person. What makes you so sure I'm not a monster that would take advantage of a willing suitor? You know, that's an interesting point. There is a lot I could get away with. A lot you could too. Interesting. So, this mutual trust, it almost reminds me of the time before. When long ago, we all had technology. We all had laws that kept us in line. Weapons that kept everyone disarmed. Because everything was equal. It was both dangerous and not. Now, only our two hands and the tech that we can make are what keep us safe. It's beautiful, isn't it? The area. It's gorgeous. I wonder if it was like this when our ancestors, so many years ago, spent their time learning, gradually teaching. I do admire it. What you science folk always do. And it's admirable. Not just because you're curing people's diseases, but because even if you do, I can tell by one look what kind of person you are. The type that knows what you want, but gives everything you can. Isn't that right? You're not even trying to be demure about it, huh? Just blunt honesty. You remind me of Senku in that way. In a good way. Not the infuriating ways. You're a whole lot more agreeable because you're not afraid to be bold, but not so obsessed with your medicine or science that you end up boring or empty. So you have some substance instead of an obsession. Tell me, why'd you bring me here? It's where you spent your time, huh? Locked in stone. And I wasn't very far off. It seems like nature didn't want me dead. And it wanted you alive too, so that this weird, fateful meeting could start again. What do you think? Something beyond science or reason? Do you think it exists? Something for which science can't explain? Interesting. So you have more of a widespread belief system. Like you said, because of the stars, we were meant to meet. Because there was more to it. Am I to take that as you have something, some faith in something besides your medicines, besides your cures? I wonder with that attitude, what ailment do I have? Loneliness, huh? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. What makes you so sure that I'm lonely at all? So that's it, huh? That's your only point. That I'm lonely because my eyes. Whatever pseudoscience you're running by me, don't think you'll be able to fool me into thinking that. Maybe there's a hint of truth to it. But what if I don't care? What if I'm a monster, huh? So regardless of if I am or not, you want to tame me. What a bold statement. But a stupid one. I could overpower you 10 to 1. I'm not saying for nefarious means, but taming me? What a strange way to put it. I guess I am a beast of a man, but am I really something to that level that requires taming? You thought I would like that wording? Maybe I do. What then? How will you tame me? You could barely reach me up here, but I'll appreciate the kiss nonetheless. 'Tis my first. Did you know? So how did you deduct that? Now it's a lucky guess. I'm beginning to think your science isn't really science at all. You're just taking guesses and throwing it to the air. Believe it or not, I don't hate that. It's more to say, you should be careful how much you assume about someone. If I were anyone else, that kiss could have landed you in dangerous territory. My own body. I've controlled, I've lamented, I've kept myself in peak condition. But that doesn't mean I haven't craved it. The touch of someone, maybe someone like you. You were counting on that? You're more crazy than I thought. Did you want me that bad that you would risk it all? That I was a monster? Monsters don't have eyes like mine. Doesn't that contradict what you... Well, I try making sense of it. You're clearly just as bad as me. Fine. Have it your way. If you want to go so far. You have no right to refuse me, do you? At least not when you're the one who made me play right into your hands. If that's so, are you sure you can handle that libido? Can you promise it wouldn't be too much? The worst thing I could do is to break you before I've gotten to know you properly. So I think you might be like me. A character at heart who doesn't hold back. You don't know how to, do you? And you want this. I can see that. I can smell it on you. Did you need a man like me, or did you need me? You're a terrible liar. If anyone could do, you wouldn't be like that. You definitely wouldn't have those legs shaking like that. Did I excite you that much? Then I guess you'll pardon me if I go too far. All this strength, all of this tenderness, I'll be partaking of that sweet body, mind, and soul. No complaints, right? Didn't think so.